This is not just another streaming app. This is football, and This is the best of CBS Sports on Paramount Plus. Live sports, breaking news, and a mountain of entertainment. Now streaming.
So your junior year, 15th seed against the number 2 Duke seed. Take us back to that game and talk to us about it. You scored a game-high 30.
When we drew Duke in the Selection Sunday show, I was geeked. I was super hyped because, for one, I hate Duke. I hate everything about him. And for two, just a full disclosure, I felt like that was my chance to kind of solidify who I thought I was. Like, I always thought I was the man, but the rest of the world hadn't seen me yet. People that watched mid-major basketball teams and mid-major programs, they knew I had NBA quality talent, but they weren't sure if it translated, and they weren't sure if I could sustain a high-level play against high-level athletes. And I was like, this is my perfect chance. I'm playing against Duke. They got Austin Rivers. They got Mason Plumlee. They got Miles Plumlee. They had Quinn Cook. They had like 6, 7 NBA players. And I was like, this is my chance to show who I am and to show I can elevate my team. Like, I'm playing with, I always joke, I said that my friends work on Wall Street, and I'm playing with like guys that work for Fortune 500 companies against NBA players. Like, the guys I play with are the accountants for the Duke players in 3 years from now. So if I can uplift them and play against them, this will solidify who I am. So I actually told my mom that we're going to beat Duke and beat whoever we play in the second round. I said we'll probably lose to Baylor because Baylor got Pierre Jackson. They had all this Quincy Miller. They had all these like super athletes. And I was like, I don't know, like we ain't really athletic around here at a Patriot League school. So I went out there, and in warm-ups, they was talking crazy. Like, you know how you go to half court and they just talking out of pocket, like just saying ridiculous, reckless stuff, trying to like punk us in warm-ups. And I'm like, man, y'all ain't even built like that. Like first of all, Duke players don't even really be nice like that when they get to the league.
Ain't no gangsters going to Duke.
Right? So they was talking crazy at warm-ups, but then like once the game started, like I let them know I was here. I'm talking to the bench. I'm talking to Coach K after shots. Like, I'm letting them know I'm here. Like, I don't know what y'all been doing in the ACC, but ain't none of these like me. You know what I'm saying? And we ended up going to win. I think that was like the signature game for me to kind of solidify that, like, I can play in the league and I can hold my own. I can be a league guard. I can play off the ball. Like, I can give you whatever you want.
So after doing what you did to Duke, how did that kind of catapult you into the national eye and start kind of getting the respect you always felt you deserved?
I think it put me in that like mid-major stardom role to where, you know, you had the Steph Currys, you had the Jimmy Fredette's, a lot of players who were in similar situations, you know, where they are able to beat a higher ranked team, a higher seed in the NCAA tournament. You had the Steve Nash situation where he was a 15 beating a 2 seed. It kind of put me in that same light to where it was like, you know, he has NBA potential. These types of players have done this. These are what his numbers are like compared to them. And then it kind of set me up to where I was the next season, I'm a preseason All-American. I entered the draft that year and had basically heard that I would be a late first round pick, and I had to decide if I wanted to leave or go back to school. And I was like, I'm going back. Like, I always wanted to be the man. This is my chance to be the man, go to a small school. Some people don't want too much film on them. I was like, they can get as much film as they want on me. Like, I believe in my game. I know that I can get back to where I was at and take my team even further. And I firmly believe if I didn't fracture my foot, like, we was going to like the Elite Eight. Like, we had a bunch of seniors. We were a good team. We were about to be ranked in the country. We had a pretty good schedule. We was playing VCU. We were playing high major teams. Well, the high major teams that would play us, most of them was afraid. Also, the backstory, funny part is, so as I went to a small school like Lehigh, and I wanted to play every school that didn't offer me. So I wanted to play Penn State. I wanted to play Ohio State. I wanted to play the Dukes and North Carolinas. But every school in Ohio that didn't recruit me, I really wanted to play them. And then I got cut from the USA team. Matt Painter was the head coach. Who was at Purdue. Boeheim was on the staff and 2 other coaches. So I went back home, and I told our coaching staff, I want to play Purdue. I want to play Syracuse. I want to play all those schools. And they said that we'll play you when CJ leaves. That was the response. It's like, no thanks. So that's kind of how it went after that Duke game. I was just locked in and like determined to get to the next level. And I got to go to CP3. I got to go to Bronze Skills Academy. I got to go to all those things and really expose myself to like what it's like to play at the next level.
The giant killer. So 2013 draft, you picked number 10 overall. Oladipo goes number 2. Giannis goes 15. Anthony Bennett goes 1. What is it like going from your, small college experience to the bright lights of New York City draft night?
That was crazy. Like, just to be in New York and, like, to have my family there, have my friends there. Everybody came out, and just to be in that situation. Like, I never knew that you got that much free stuff when you had money. Like, it's crazy.
You get more. It's crazy, right? You would think you get more free shit when you have money to spend on it.
They was just giving everything away. And I was like, man, I sure could have used this stuff, growing up and when I was in college. But, like, headphones, they just giving away watches, with whatever, suits. And it was just, like, I was just thankful I was able to spend that time with my family and being able to experience, sitting in the green room, the behind-the-scenes stuff, the interviews, the storytelling, sitting down with Jalen Rose and just getting ready for Bill Simmons, getting ready for, like, what it's like to play in the NBA. And I still remember, like, some of the things that I was saying, like, rings true today. Like I know I'm going to be ready. I know I'm going to work hard, and I'm not really worried about, going to a small school. I'm not really worried about, the transition from a school with 5,000 people to a big NBA city. I said, look, man, I'm built for this, and I'm just looking forward to the opportunity to compete against the best. And I think that's been the most fun part, is that you get to hoop for a living. Like, you literally get paid to go hoop, and you would do it for free, and they're going to pay you for it.
Did you have any idea where you were going during your lottery pick, but did you have any inclination of where you're going?
The Sacramento Kings promised me at 7. They said that they were going to draft me if I was available. And then Ben McLemore fell, and they ended up drafting him. So I thought I was going to Sacramento. Detroit, I had a good workout for Detroit. And at the time, they had Joe Dumars, who went to a small school. So we had that, like, small school reputation. I thought they was going to draft me. They took Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. I had a good workout for Minnesota, and I thought they were going to draft me, and they didn't. But when I worked out for Portland, I had started talking to Dame. We started talking and stuff, and he was like, yo, you're going to be a lottery pick, whatever. And he was basically like, if you're available, like, I think we're going to take you. And then Neil, our GM, I think, Matt, you might know Neil.
No, shout out Neil. No, Neil used to train me before. Neil was a struggling actor in LA, and he was a dope trainer. And then he ended up getting a position in Portland and did what he does. But Neil is my guy, man. Definitely shout out Neil O'Shea.
Neil good by me for the rest of life. I think I'm gonna name one of my dogs Neil after.
Hey, great dude.
All the bread he done gave me up. We gonna name a dog after him. So Neil was basically like, we're going to draft you if you're available. We think that we can pair you with Dame, whatever. So when I didn't go 7, 8, 9, I was like, oh shit, like, I'm about to go to Portland. Like, I'd never been to, like, I'm an East Coast, like, Midwest kid. I ain't never been to Portland. Like, only Portland I knew of really was Portland, Maine. Like, growing up, like, you didn't, like, until I start watching Stoudemire and stuff. And he was like, oh, okay. So I'm like, oh shit. Like, Dame texted me, oh shit, and then my phone died. And then the rest is like an hour and a half later, you're going through interviews and stuff. And then it's like me and AB worked out together. He was the number 1 pick, and Oladipo was my man. So we ended up going to, like, mad, like, you know how it is, after parties for days. Michael Carter Williams is my guy. So we all, like, out just really kicking it. I was like, this is what they set you up. So you think that forever bottles going to be free, right? Because on draft night,
everything
you don't pay for shit. So we out here drinking at we're going to every place you could think of. Don't get back to the hotel till like 6. And I don't have a press conference. So, like, most guys have a press conference the next day, so they got to fly out. They didn't do my press conference until like a month later, like summer league. So I was cool. I drove home. Like 2 days later, I stayed in New York and drove home to Ohio.
Dope.
But it was crazy. Like, I still remember the party. I still remember where I went, who I seen, like, something I never forget.
Was that your first interaction with Dame right there when he was discussed that they would possibly be drafting you?
No. When I broke my foot my senior year, a mutual friend of ours connected. I think Justine is the one that connected us. And he was basically, a guy who had broke his foot. He was a mid-major player. He was a rookie at the time, like, playing well. And I just wanted to ask him, like, how did you recover from this fractured foot? You know what I'm saying? What type of drill should I be doing? What's the process like? And then just, like, as a guy who went to a small school and is in the league now, like, how do I need to train when I return? Like, how do I have success, like, early? So that's, like, those are the questions I'm asking. I'm like, I want to emulate, like, people that are successful. Like, what do you do?
Right.
And then I'm going to go do the same shit because that's what works. So we started talking like that, just on the developmental stuff, like, mentally, like, how should I be thinking? And then we just naturally just became friends on like just through text. And then the first time I met him in person was the draft lottery. So he represented the Portland Trailblazers for the lottery. Me, Michael Carter-Williams, AB, and like 2 other players just went to the draft lottery to watch to see like what teams going to have what picks. And that's when we met. And I was just asking him questions about his mentality. How does he treat his workouts when he goes 5 for 20? And how does he treat his workouts when he goes 15 for 20? It was organic, and I think that's why we still friends to this day. There's no fallouts because we weren't forced to be friends. We was friends before we became teammates, and we built from like similar backgrounds where you got to work for what you want in this life. You take care of your family. You sharp, you solid, but you also blunt and direct. And I think we got that perfect combination.